Good. I think everything is working fine now. Okay, so the streaming is live already. The recording is live, right? Okay, so good do ritual, guys. Um, where is my document? Good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get started. So today we're going to be talking about download Blender first of all. So just like I made just as I made the PDF for last class available, yes, to those that were interested. So I will also make sure that this document is available. Okay, this PDF. So um I think someone told me on the chat that he already downloaded Blender and it was ready for practical. Yeah. So if you want to download Blender, you can also go on with that. You understand? So this is the website. You just search for blender.org/download on your browser. I don't want to start doing all that because it will take a long time, and we have just few minutes to go today for the class. Okay, so this is the website you go to download Blender software. Then, depending on your what is it called on your operating system, if you are using Mac, Linux, or Windows, so you will see the compatible version for your what is it called for your website for your PC. You understand? And once you download it, I'm sure you guys know how to install a software on your PC. So it's just that easy. So for Windows, you download the zip file or the MSI file and just go through the whole process of installation. So all these are what you guys should have been doing on your PC before other softwares. So I'll just go straight into how to understand the interface of Blender. Okay, so um this is this is the interface of Blender now once you start. So let me open my Blender software because I told you guys it's going to be practical, more practical. So if my screen is glitching or my voice is not audible, please you guys should let me know. Okay, you guys should let me know. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, fine, you're fine.
Okay, I'm audible enough, right? Good. Okay, so I want to start Blender afresh. So let me just open Blender. And I'm using Blender 5.0. I don't know if there's a new version. This is the latest version as at last month or last 2 months. So this is the latest version of Blender. So if you want to install Blender, make sure you're installing the latest version so that you can get all those functionalities that all those new functionalities that are with it. Okay, so this is the interface of Blender. Once you installed it, this is what you'll meet. This is the default page you'll meet. Okay, okay, just like I said on the slide, you can see this is the default page you'll meet. So this is your 3D viewport. The viewport is your main workspace where you create, edit, and view your model. So whatever you are creating now on your Blender software, whatever you're creating on Blender software, you will see it on this your viewport. Okay, so you can see now if I'm rotating now, you can see everything. I'm rotating on my viewport now, my 3D viewport now. You can see everything that I'm doing. You understand? So this is the default cube that comes with Blender, and you can move it anywhere. Okay, before I continue, before I continue, I want to I want to turn on my screencast keys so that you guys can see everything I'm doing since it's a recording. So everything I'm doing on my screen now, you guys can see it. If I left click, you will see it here. If I right click, you will see it here. Okay. If I press a shortcut, you will see it. I'm pressing G now. G is to grab. Okay. So all this escape, if you press escape, you will release the stuff what you just moved. Okay. So that is That is it about that. So this is your 3D viewport. So now let's go to the next. The next part is the outliner. This is a list of everything in your scene. Okay, great for selecting and organizing. Okay, I'm sure many of you guys know how to use Photoshop, or even if it's Canva or any software. You understand? So aside from the fact that you can see all these things here now, then you can also, this is your outliner now. This is your outliner. I'm going to be doing it with practical as well. So this is my outliner here. This place here. I don't know if you guys can see it clearly. This is my outliner. So if I select a cube now from this, you can see that the cube is selected here as well. If I select this part here, this is my light. This is my light source now. If I select this now, you can see my light is as well selected here. Then if I select this camera, this is my camera here, then you can see my camera is selected here as well. So this is my outliner. It is outlining whatever I'm using Blender. If you have a very complicated scene, like a very thick scene, you understand, with a lot of elements on your scene, so it will make it very easy for you to know which of the elements you are working on at that moment. You understand? And make sure you are always naming your scene based on like what you are, like, okay, let me say I'm making a character now. You have the arm, you have the head, you have the leg, you understand? So make sure you are naming each of those parts based on what you can relate easily with. You understand? So for example, now I want to I can rename this cube now to whatever I want just by double clicking on it. You can see on this place as well. You can see that I double click here. So if you double click on it, you can change it to anything. I can change it to Marvel, I can change it to Magic, I can change it to Standing Lobe, anybody, you understand, anything I want. So you can see now, once I've changed it.
Sorry, sorry. Can I come in a bit? Sorry.
Yes, yes.
I don't know if I'm the holy one, but I think the screen is not that bold for people to see well. I don't know.
Okay, is it my workspace, right?
Do you get?
Okay,
Yeah, it's fast for people to recognize what you are touching, what you are.
okay. You know what, don't worry. um the recording is very is in high quality, you understand? So I'm going to, who is that?
Cryptic, please mute your mic.
Okay, what about now? Can you
Go
see it?
ahead.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, it's a bit okay,
Okay.
but the recording will do the work.
Yeah, yeah, the
The
recording,
recording will do the work. Don't worry.
I checked all those out. The recording is in what is it called? It's in 1080p. So it is clear enough. You understand?
Okay,
Yes, I checked it out.
okay, okay. That's nice.
Yeah, it might be because
Okay,
of
go
the
ahead. Go
issue
ahead.
with the others. Okay, thank you very much. So I'm trying to zoom, but I don't know how to zoom my, what is it called, like this thing now. I don't know how to zoom it so it will be bigger. Um, I usually do this before. Okay, you can see this one. I'm zooming in now. Is big. It's getting bigger. You can see my properties channel properties tab is getting bigger, but this place is not
Yeah.
working. This other place is not working. You get? Okay. So I was talking
Okay.
about the properties panel now. So this is where you will see everything you are working on. For example, if I bring in a cylinder, don't worry about all the shortcut keys. Okay, let me just explain it first. I press Shift A. Shift A will bring in this tab, and I can bring in any element I want. Okay, let me bring in a cylinder now. So this is a cylinder. As I brought in a cylinder, you can see that a cylinder has been added here. A cylinder has been added to this my outline tab. You get? And I can change the cylinder's name to whatever I want. Okay, so let me go to the next part of the workspace now, of the interface, which is the properties panel. So the properties panel is the control room where you change the object properties, materials, lighting, and rendering settings. Okay, so let me go back to my Blender. Okay, we have used 14 minutes. We still have some time. Good. We are We are in line. Okay, so this is my properties panel now. This part. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm scrolling it right now. Yes, and I can zoom it. If I want to zoom,
We
just
can see.
okay. Thank you very much. So you can see that as I selected cylinder, you can see that cylinder is named here as well. Cylinder, and anything I want to do here, it will be working on just the cylinder. You get? So let me first of all delete my cylinder because I want to work on my cube. You see that they are overlapping and it is not that ideal. Okay, so if I want to delete my cylinder, I'll just press on delete on my keyboard. Delete. You can see it has been deleted. So now let's work on our what? Our cube. I click on cube. You know I named our cube loop before. You guys remember when I named my cylinder loop? Okay, so I just changed the name to stand loop now so that you guys can understand clearly. So um once I name it, whatever I name it here, it will automatically update here. And any properties I'm doing here, I want to change the location to, you can see I'm moving it in the x-axis. This is my x-axis. Sorry, I misplaced the arrangement. So this is my x-axis now. I'm moving it 1 meter from where it was before. You can see that my cube is moving as well. Then if I move the y-axis,
Mm-hmm.
it will move in the y-axis. You understand? And if I move in the z-axis, to move in the z-axis. And if I want to go back to where it was before, I can just press 0, 0, and 0. So it will go back to the default location that it was before. And if I want to rotate as well, I can rotate it in the x-axis. I can rotate it. Yes, yes. Okay.
From sir, please mute your
I'm
mic.
sorry, sorry.
Okay, I thought you wanted to ask a question. Okay, so this is the x, y, and z axis. Okay, I want to rotate it. Then if I want to scale it as well, I can scale it in the x axis. I can scale it in the y axis. But take note, all this stuff that I'm talking about now, you can just use shortcut for them. You get, for example, I want to scale on the x axis. I can just press S. Once I press X, it will scale in all axes. You understand? In all axes. When I press X now, it will scale it only on X axis. You can see. So what do I do? I press S and X. You can see it's S and X, and I can scale on X axis alone. So if I want to I want to make this new changes permanent, I can just click on my left click. You get, I can click on left click and you can see that the shape has changed. Okay. Scale on Y, you can put S and Y, then you scale on Y. Okay. So if you have a very definite shape, you can put X, Y, sorry, you can say scale Y and what? Let me say 1 meter. I can put in 1 meter. I can put in scale Y 2 meter. You can see it has changed by what? 2 meter in the Y axis, in the Y direction. So all these things you can use shortcut for them. So if I want to rotate, I can use what? R, X. I can rotate on X axis or in Y axis. So all these are, you can use shortcuts for them. That is why I was telling you guys that I will just give you what is it called, the shortcuts to do all this. You understand? So the last this thing on my slide that I'm going to be talking about is the timeline, which is used for animation. Okay, so you can see the timeline here. This is the timeline here. So let's go back to Blender and see where our timeline is. Okay, so our timeline is very small. You get, so you can adjust it. I can drag it. You understand? I can drag my timeline to show very clearly. Then if you want to zoom into your timeline, you can just use your two, what is it called now? Is it your two fingers and pinch it on your mouse? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. You can pinch on your mouse and you just see I'm scaling it inside and I can scale it outside as well. So this your timeline now is what is used for animation. It is what used for animation. So for example now, I want to move this cube from this location to this location. Okay, I want to move it 2 meters away from here. Okay, so what will I do? I will animate it using what? This my timeline. So how can I do that? You can see that I have a location here. Okay, I want the location at frame 1. You know when it comes to videos now, is you are working with frames. You understand? Like frames. Okay. So I want my position of my cube to be on 0 meters in frame one. And how can I do that? I will just what click on this. You can see this dot here. Animate properties. Let me increase it a bit. Yes, you can see it here. Animate properties. This dot here. So if I just click on it here, you can see the color has changed, meaning that I have put a keyframe there in this location. You can also see from this place now. You can also see from this place now that a point came. You can see this point here. This yellow. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. This yellow dot here. It means that
Yeah, we can see it.
yes, it means that
Yeah.
I've put in a keyframe there. So if I want this cube now to move in let me say 2 meters from this location now. Let me just say I come to frame 24 now. I come to frame 24 and I put 2 meters here. I put 2 meters here. Okay, you can see that it's moving like this. Let me I think this is my correct direction. Okay, so it's moving in 2 meters away from where it was before. And I will now put in what another keyframe here. You can see as I put in another keyframe now, and that yellow dot came. You can see that yellow dot is here. So it means that at frame 0, this cube will be in 0 meters, and at frame 24, this cube will be in what 2 meters. So now let's go back. So if you want to play your animation, you just press spacebar. And you guys should not worry, all these shortcut keys, I will show you guys how to get them, how to locate them on Blender. You get. So if I click on spacebar now, you can see my cube moved from that first location to the next location. So this is just how to animate. This is as simple as this. So out the 3D viewport, I've talked about the outliner, I've talked about the properties panel, and I have talked about the timeline. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have any question. Then let me just use the next 2 minutes or 1 minute to answer any question, and we can continue with what we have for today. Yes, deal with your guys.
The ritual. Anyone with
Yes.
question?
Please, if you have any question, you can, or if you want your question to be asked, let me say at the end of the class, no problem. You can you can keep your questions. I will still have another section for questions.
Or
Okay.
you can type.
Yes, you can type it. You can type your questions. It's not compulsory you talk if you don't want to. Okay. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can interrupt me at any point. Then let me continue with the class. Yes. Yeah, stand low. Hope you are following. And from sir. Yeah, Jay, it's good to have you guys.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so let me continue then. Okay, so we have been able to move our what is it called now, our cube from position 1 to position 2. Okay, so now let me show you guys the shortcut. Let me show you guys the shortcut. So today I was thinking of creating ritual logo, but I don't know if there will still be a lot of time. So let me just quickly talk about the shortcut keys. Then we can quickly do the ritual logo. So maybe one of these days we'll do Sigi as well. Okay, so if you want to get to the shortcut, so you just come to edit. You come to edit section here. I don't know if you guys have seen my screen. You come to edit here, you go down to preference. Okay, so once you click on preference, then you can see all these default settings. So before I continue with the shortcut, these are the settings you need to put on your Blender software. Immediately you open the Blender software, you install it. So you can see your resolution scale. Mine is on 1.0, and that is the right default scale you should use. You get. So make sure if it's not on 1.0, you can change it to 1.0. Then you can just use this as your line width as default. Then I think everything here should be the same if you with the default. Okay, so now you come to key maps. Yes, key maps. So this is where you see all your shortcut keys. Okay, this is where you see all your shortcut keys. So um select with mouse button, that is left, space bar action. You can see this space bar action is for playing your video, as I did earlier. So all these are the shortcut keys. You can open any of them. You can see it. New file, you use Ctrl N for a new file. Open recent file, shift Ctrl 0. Okay, so all these are shortcut keys on your keyboard. You can see keyboard. So all these are for Windows. So let's go to, let's say you want to work now, 3D view. Okay, so you know what? Instead of me to be using all these long on these long distance, because it's not everything that is on this shortcut that you might need at that moment, you understand. So I will update the, what is it called now, the document, and I will give you guys, I will update the PDF, and I'll give you guys the important shortcut keys you need to know, like to grab, to move, to animate, to rotate, to scale, all those kind of little shortcut keys that you might need, you understand. So I'll update that PDF and give it to you guys, so that it'll be better, it'll be easier, because with what I'm seeing here, it is very um like bulky. How many shortcut keys do you want to understand at that moment? Yeah, you understand what I'm trying to say. So if you want to go to the shortcut keys, this is where
Yeah,
you see it.
that would be better.
Yes, that will be better. Okay, so quickly, let's make the ritual logo. Okay, so I think that will be a lot more interesting with the remaining few minutes that we have. Yes. Okay. So as I said earlier in the first class, before you start anything, you need to have what? A reference. I said this in the previous class. I don't know if you guys remember. So before I start, I want to delete everything on this
Yes.
scene. I want to delete everything on this scene. You understand? So I'll just click on my cube, I delete. I click on the camera, I delete. I click on the lights and I delete. So there's nothing on my, you can see there's nothing on my outline again. There's nothing on my outline. There's nothing on my scene aside from my grid. And the grid is not an element. The grid is just like a ruler. You understand? Okay, so now there are some things that I did not talk about self, and don't worry, as we are continuing the class, you will just understand them. You get like how to navigate in top view, side view, what is it called again? Front view and the likes. Okay, so now let's start. First of all, I want to bring in my reference image. And before I bring in my reference image, okay, let me bring in my reference image first. To get my reference image, I'll just click on Shift A. You can see my shortcut here, Shift A. Then I will go to images. You can see it, image. Then I will click on reference. So I want to bring in an image. So it will go to my keyboard, sorry, my, to go to my, sorry, my computer. Yes, my
Your file.
computer. Yes, my files. Yes. Then I can just search for, I have a folder for ritual. I don't know why it is not showing. Okay, I'm coming. Document. Okay. No, it's not document, desktop. Yeah. I have a document for ritual. Yes. So this is ritual logo now. So I'll just open it. Okay. So can you guys notice something? This the dimension, like, is not flat. This ritual logo is not flat, and it is because of the view I was looking at before I imported the file. Okay, so before you import an image, make sure that you are on either your top view or your side view, whatever view you want your you want to start your design. For example, now I want to start this ritual logo on my top view. I want to be seeing my ritual logo flat on my screen like this. You can see that it is not flat now. That is because I imported my image before on the wrong view. So I'll just delete it, and instead of, I'll go to my top view. And how can I go to my top view? You can see that I used numpad 7. So if you have a numpad on your screen, on your keyboard, sorry, you can just press number 7. You get. You press number 7, numpad, not normal 7, numpad 7. Then you go to top view. If you don't have numpad, then you
Hmm.
can go to key maps. If you don't have a numpad on your keyboard, you can go to key maps.
Good
And
sound.
yes, yes. Do you have a question, please? Okay. So if you don't have a numpad on
I
your
think it
keyboard,
was a mistake.
okay, okay. If you have a numpad, you can come to settings, your key maps. You understand, and you can change it to number 7 if you want to. Let me see if I can check out where I can see it. Um, I don't want to spend much time on user interface. Okay. Okay, I don't want to spend much time, but you can see all the shortcuts here, so you can change it yourself. You can remove this, like let me say now, this shortcut now, this eyedropper shortcut now is letter E. Okay, so I can remove this shortcut here. You understand? I can remove the shortcut here and add whatever I want. So if you want to change it from number 7 to number 7, you just come here and change it to 7. Let me show you guys now. I remove it and I change it. I press, and you press any key, sorry. Press any key now. Let me say I press number 7. You can see that I've changed it to 7 here now. I've changed it to 7 here now. Yes. Okay, so if I change to 7 now, I can now what? I can now come to save. I can come here to save and I will save it. You understand? I will save it here. So you just click on, where is it now? Just click on, okay. Okay, I think it will be automatically updated. It will be automatically updated. Yes, automatically updated. But me, I don't want it to be like this. I want to restore it back to where it was before. So I'm just trying to show you guys how you can edit your shortcut keys. You understand? So that is it. So now let's continue. Now I'm on numpad 7, which is my top view. And numpad 1 is for front view. Numpad 3 is for side view. I don't want to go much into that yet. The more we work, you understand, then the more you understand. And don't worry, everything like this, I'll put them on the PDF. I'll put them on the PDF. So now let's get started. So now I'll come back again. I'll click on Shift A and I'll go to Image and Reference. And now we import the logo. That is the ritual logo. Now you can see that as I'm on my top view now, you can see that it is aligned. It is not what is it called, distorted like before again. It is aligned now. So now I'm going to be modeling based on this logo, on this ritual logo that I have now. So before I start, let me just bring in a shape now, a cube, because I will start with a cube. Understand? Let me bring in a cube. Shift A again, then I'll go to mesh and I'll go to cube. Okay, I'll prefer to use a plane. I'll prefer to use a plane for the logo. Let me just start with a plane, a flat plane. Okay, I think that will be best for me. So you can see that I brought in an image. It is here. It is an image. I brought in what again? A cube. You can see it. Sorry, a plane, and you can see it on my outline as well. A plane. You get. So you can just rename this plane to what? Ritual. You understand? And I can decide to name this empty reference. So just to make sure I'm understanding my everything is organized. You know, I told you guys before that everything needs to be organized so that it's easy to know which element is and what it's used for. Okay, so now I don't want to select this. I don't want to be selecting this plane now. You can see that if I select it now and I'm trying to work, if I maybe I want to select my plane now, I might mistakenly select my picture, and I don't want this picture to be moving. You understand? I want it to be static. So I can just come back here and lock it. So this filter, this place is to I want to turn on selectable. This selectable means that I can turn on selectability of my elements. I can turn it on and I can turn it off. So if I click on selectable now, so you can see that it is here now. It was not here before. If you guys see it, it was not here before. You can see it's not here again. Selectable. That's location arrow, something like location arrow, or should I say telegram icon. It's like Telegram icon, right? So now if I turn it off now, if I turn it off now, I can't select my logo again. I can't select this logo again. You see, if I'm clicking on it, it will not select. But if I turn it off, so if I turn it on now, if I select, you can see that it's selected now. So I will just turn off my reference, but I will not turn off my ritual plane, because that's what I want to work with. Okay, so this is what I want to work with. Okay, now, so before you can work on an element now, you see this element now, we have what we call the object mode and we have what we call the edit mode. So the object mode is where you will how will I put it now? The object mode is where you will have this element now, and but you can't do a lot of editing, a lot of work on this element just on the object mode. But if you go to the edit mode, you understand, then you can do a lot of editing on the element. So now you see this plane now, I'm going to go to the edit mode so that I can what? I can work on this shape. Just this one shape, you can use it to make this ritual logo. You understand? So that's what I'm going to be doing now. So I'll just click on tab. So tab is the shortcut to go to edit mode, vertex mode, face mode, or edge mode. But we won't be doing any of that now. We'll just be going into edit mode. You understand? You can see you can use tab, you can see you can use 8 as well. There are a lot of shortcuts, and Blender will be guiding you on which shortcuts you can use. So if I click on edit now, you can see that a lot of things came. You guys can see my left toolbar section. If you look at this place now, this place here, you will see that a lot of things, a lot of icons came. So if I go back to object mode now, you can see it's just a few that are there. But if I go back to edit, you can see a lot. Yes, so you can select, you can move cursor, you can move, you can rotate, you can scale, you can transform and do many other things. So we won't be using most of this yet since we have shortcuts. That is just the beauty. You don't need to be stressing yourself on all this for now since you have the shortcuts. So now let's start editing. But if you want to start editing now, you can see that our, what is it called now, our plane is covering the image at the back. We can't see what is on ritual logo. That is the back of the plane. You can't see it. And why is that? Because um this cube now, or this plane now, is, it has full transparency. So what, there's a shortcut to use to be able to see through an element that you are working on, and that is Alt Z. So if I just press Alt Z now, you can see now that I can see what is at the back of my, what is it called now, of my logo. You can see it now. I can see at the back of my logo now. So now we can get started. Okay, so before I start anything again, I don't like, because I've done this logo a lot of times, you understand, and I don't like working on it this way. I like working on it in and that way. Let me just show you guys. So I'll go back to my edit mode. I will select my, let me turn off my selection yet first. I will select this picture, this image now. Okay, let me rotate it by 45 degrees. I'm sure you guys know how to rotate now. Just press R and I use 45. R45, that is the shortcut to rotate 45 degrees. So now let me reduce the opacity of this logo, of this image itself. So I'll go to data. Don't worry, this is recorded. I am sure it is recorded. Let me confirm. Yeah, it is recorded. So in case I'm saying something too fast, you guys can just slow it down later in the later, and you understand, and you get to understand better.
Catch up later.
Yes, yes. Okay, so um let me reduce the opacity. I'll just go to my data. That is the data of this image. You know, I told you guys this properties panels is to what, work on anything you want to work on, these properties of the selected elements. So I'm working on this image now. I'll just come to opacity. I will turn it on and I'll reduce the opacity to, let me say, you can see that I'm reducing the opacity, things reducing as well. So let me just use like 0.1. Okay, so now you can see that we can see the image is now very blur. You understand? We don't need to see it very clearly to make our use it as our reference. So now I can't select it again. I can't select it again. Now we continue working with my logo. So now let's go back to edit mode. Let's go back to edit mode. And what? Remember we use Alt Z. Alt Z is to what? To see through our logo. You can see Alt Z. It is not I can't see again. And that Alt Z, I can see through it. So now let's get started. So what you'll be using mostly is G, what is it called again? Rotate. G is for grabbing, R is for rotating, and S is for scaling. You understand? All these I will drop in the PDF, all these shortcut keys. So that is mostly what we're going to be using to create our ritual logo. So now I will scale, then I will grab, that is G, I will grab. So you just use your eye, you get, use your eye to um, look through it. Then I will select this part, or let me just select this part. Okay, now before I continue again, there's something I just did now that I have not talked about before. Okay, so we have what we call vertex mode, we have what we call edge mode, and we have what we call face mode. So you know I told you guys before that the more we work, the more we see new things that we need to talk about. Okay, yes, so I just found a new thing that I need to talk about before we continue. So we have what we call vertex mode. I press 1. That is when we get to vertex mode. So vertex mode, it will make you to select each and every point, like a point. You can see I can select each of these points now. So that is what we call vertex, as the name implies. So when we say edge mode, to go to edge mode you press 2. All these are the shortcuts, you understand? So me too, I don't know the what is it called again. Okay, you want to go to vertex mode. Yeah, this is it. This is vertex mode. This is, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. Yes, this is vertex mode. This is edge mode. You can see the write up on it. You can see all this write up on it. Then this is face mode. You understand? But
Mhm.
I'm used to the shortcut already. So I'll just, and shortcut makes your work faster. You understand? You can't be moving your mouse everywhere just because you want to create something simple. Okay, now, so I click on one. I'm on edge mode now. I'm on vertex mode now. Please come later, come later. Okay, so if I go to two now, if I go to two now, I'm on edge mode, and edge mode is like lines. You can see now I'm selecting lines now. You understand? So all these things will help you in editing. And if I click on three now, three is face mode. So it's just one face we have on this plane. We only have one face, and we have what? We have four lines. We have four lines. Then we have how many edges? I think we have only four edges as well. So this will help you when you are trying to edit. So now I'm trying to drag this line to this edge here now. I'll just press on 2. I'll click on this. So I know that this what is it called now? This class should be very easier if it is like follow through practical. Like as I'm doing it, you guys are doing it as well. But you know the time is not much. We don't have a lot of time, so I can't. You guys understand, right? So I can't use that method yet. That's why I just decided to make a recording. Okay, I decided to use this method. So you can see I'm using G and Y. I'm dragging it in Y direction now. I dragged it in Y direction. You can zoom in more to make sure your this thing is in line with the scale or the dimension. Okay, good. So now I want to extrude. I want to bring out a part of this here and a part of this here. So how do you think I can do it? I will use the shortcut Control R. That is it. Control R is what? To create a loop cut. So if I create a loop cut now, like this, now, I've divided this into 2. Okay, so I can decide to create a loop cut and drag it. Click on it once and drag it to this place. I can create another loop cut, drag it down. Okay, so now I've divided this plane into 3 parts. You guys can see it. Now I can select only this line. Now I've increased the number of lines and the number of faces and the number of vertex on this element. You get? So I can just click on this line. I'll press G. Okay, G will not work. I'll press extrude. So this and that shortcut. Extrude is to just like name implies, extrude. Okay, then you can see that it's moving anyhow. I can just put X. As I put X now, it's going to be moving on X direction alone. So I'll extrude to this place. Then I will select this other place too and extrude in X direction as well. Yes, so you guys can see I'm following the, what is it called now, the dimension. So click on this, drag it. Please come later. Okay, so I'll select this, extrude in Y direction. Oh, okay, so that is it. Please guys, I'm coming.